Oh, I absolutely agree. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the time that Thor had to dress up in women's clothing in order to get his hammer back, which was stolen by giants. So as we already know, Thor is one of the most mightiest gods of Asgard and is known as the protector of Midgard. And one of Thor's most recognizable traits is that he never goes anywhere without his hammer Mjolnir. But one day, Thor wakes up and notices that his hammer Mjolnir was nowhere in sight, and he suspects that Loki was the one that took it. And though Loki found the entire situation very interesting, he wasn't the one to steal the hammer. But he did offer to Thor that he would go and find out for him. Loki then makes his way to Jotunheim, which is the land of the giants, where he comes across Thrym, the king of the ice giants. Side note, the reason why I know who Thrym is because he's the main antagonist of one of Hellboy's many adventures in the Bones of the Giant. Which if you haven't read this book, please pick this up because this is a definite must read. Or read the comic, it's up to you. Anyway, when Loki found out that it was Thrym who stole the hammer, he decided that he was going to make a bargain with Thrym, and so he asked what does he want. To which Thrym replies that the only thing that he wants is Freya, whose beauty is known throughout the land, which probably makes a lot of sense of why Thrym wants her hand in marriage. So Loki accepts the deal, he goes back to Thor, gives him his report, and they go to Freya to see what she would say. And to put it lightly, she was not happy about it. And by not happy, I mean she was absolutely furious to the point where both of them had to run out of her chambers. So the gods sat around and debated on what needs to be done because they all agreed that without Thor's hammer, Asgard would be in great danger. And so an idea was struck, whether it was from Loki or Heimdall. The idea was this. Instead of Freya going out and meeting the king of the frost giant, Thor would be the one to take her place by impersonating her, meaning he had to wear women's clothing. And of course, you can imagine Thor was not happy about this, but he knew there was no other way for him to get his hammer back. And of course, they gave him a wedding gown, they dressed him up to look like Freya, kept his beard hidden beneath the veil and everything. Loki even shapeshifted himself into a beautiful handmaiden and they were off to Jotunheim. And while there, Thor was not doing anything to make himself look discreet. He ate through multiple different platters of food. I'm talking any food that wasn't nailed down, it was literally already in his stomach. And in order to commemorate the wedding, Tyr decided that he was going to put Mjolnir on the table in front of Thor. Now, what do you think Thor did after that? Did he just grab his hammer, took off his dragon, just ran out of the palace with Loki and tow? Or did he make Loki turn into some sort of dragon to scare the giants out of the hall so they can pretty much make their getaway? No, not even close. He picked up that hammer and started going to town. He not only brought down the hammer on Thrym's head, but he literally used that hammer to slaughter everyone in the entire wedding. No giant was spared. He even kills Thrym's sister in the mayhem. And with that bloody business concluded, Thor was happy to have his hammer back, and with that, he and Loki make the journey home. And this story has taught me two things. Number one, the thought of the God of Thunder cross-dressing is still hilarious to me. And two, stealing that hammer is guaranteed to put you on a t-shirt. But anyway, what do you guys think of that story? Did you enjoy it? And are there any stories that you want me to cover on here? If there is, leave it down in the comments below. Until then, I'll catch you in the next one.